everybody, it's Tuesday and it feels like a Monday here, so I have to motivate myself to do things today. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. On Tuesdays, I'm on Tumblr, so if you are an avid fan of Tumblr, you can find me on there, just Katie Morton, all squished together. And if you use the hashtag KatieFAQ and you ask your questions, I have 3 of them today, as well as a really awesome journal topic. So it's pretty long, so I've got to get through these so that we have time to talk about that. Okay, let's get started. Question number 1. Hello, Katie. I have another ED appointment next week, and I'm nervous about being weighed. Aren't we all? When will blind weights end? I'm not allowed to see the number because it previously sparked a suicide attempt, but just being weighed in general makes me feel so awful. How can I better manage this worry? So this is a good question and something I haven't really talked about much. And if you're out there and you're struggling with eating disorder, whether it be anorexia, bulimia, or binge eating, being weighed is something that we never let you see the number. It's part of recovery. There will come a point where you will be able to see it because mentally you'll be able to manage that number and know that a number doesn't define who you are. But until you're at that point, they're always going to blind weigh you because of the fact that it's, it sparked a suicide attempt. It can push you back into the eating disorder. It can cause a relapse. It can do a lot of things to us. So just having the number, because we all know, and whoever asked this question, you can't tell me that you don't take that number, spin it into a gazillion different ways that you can make the number less or whatever, and it makes you crazy again and you go back into the eating disorder like full bore, even if you're really fighting. I mean, at least that's my experience with a lot of my clients. They take that number and they ruminate and ruminate and ruminate. It's way too much. And so there will come a time when you're so far along in your recovery that you are able to hear and help yourself understand the mantra, a number doesn't define who I am, or my weight doesn't make me better or worse, or whatever it is you need to say. And that's something you can still do now to better manage the worry of it, is talking yourself down from it. Having mantras you say, journaling about how you feel before and after, talking to your therapist. If you know you're going in to be weighed, make sure you have a therapist appointment coming up quickly. Even if you can do it that day, that'd be even better. Or if you can do it, the next day. However, you can prepare yourself so that you're getting the support you need externally from a therapist, or maybe just getting together with a friend that knows you're in recovery and is helpful, to internally having the mantras, journaling, stuff like that, because we know we kind of need both, right? But once you're far enough along in your recovery where the number won't define who you are anymore, that's when they'll let you start seeing it. And that's something that they'll probably have a discussion with you about and talk about before they even actually do it. So I hope that helps. I hope that makes sense. That's kind of how we gauge when you're ready, because it can be really difficult at first. And we've worried a lot about that number for a really long time. And so to have it taken away, we're hoping can give you one less thing to have a hold of, where you can think about it, ruminate about it, subtract, divide, multiply, whatever you're doing in your equations. It'll help you, save that brain space. You don't have to use it on that anymore. You can use it on your recovery tools. What do you think about that? Okay, question number 2. Hey, Katie, how can you tell when you're using your eating habits as a coping skill? You know how I always talk about our self-harm or eating disorders, how we use those as coping skills, kind of any destructive behavior. It could be drug abuse, it could be alcohol abuse, where it's not just a social thing or for fun every now and again. It's something that we do when we're really stressed out. Now, that's how we kind of know. A lot of my clients will say, I don't know if that was my eating disorder or not. And so we go back. I track back in that day or even the day before. It might even be the week before. And we start talking about what's been going on. So I would encourage you, if you're concerned that maybe you're using your eating as a coping skill, I want you to notice your emotional hunger fullness. If that doesn't work, if that's not something that you're in touch with, notice what's been going on. Has it been extra stressful? Is work really busy? Is school just starting and it's kind of anxiety provoking? Are things rough at home? Are friends being mean or nice? I mean, you want to notice how things are going in your life. And you can kind of stick with those quadrants of work or school or friends or family or, home life or whatever, how many buckets of people and experiences you have going in your life. I want you to consider each of them and how things are going in each of those buckets, because then we can say, well, even though school's going fine, at home things are really chaotic and I find myself not wanting to go home. That will help gauge your emotional experience in the now. And if you are feeling overly emotional, it could be anything. It could be, I'm feeling really sad. I'm feeling really anxious. It could be any number of feelings. If you feel that building up and you find yourself not eating as much or eating more, that's when you can link the two. You can see that what you've been doing is a result of the fact that things are really stressful or uneasy, or schools have changed and it's kind of makes you anxious and you're meeting new friends and you don't even know. So sometimes taking some time to figure out where you're coming from and what's going on can make you realize, wow, I have been really stressed out, or wow, my depression has really gotten bad. I haven't done that. I haven't painted in a month and I really love it, or I haven't sang, or I haven't done whatever. It helps to notice. Sometimes we go forever without noticing. So that's how you know. Okay? Question number 3. Hi, Katie. Can you ever safely lose weight after having an eating disorder? It's a good question. I feel like I may have answered it before, but I wasn't sure. So we're giving it a round 2. I currently struggle with bulimia and I'm working on recovery. Right now, I'm just under the highest weight that I've ever been and I'm not happy about it. Ugh. I know I have to leave it and work on recovery, but will I be able to lose weight afterwards, or will it push me back in my eating disorder? Thank you so much for everything you do. You've given me hope. Okay, now this is a tricky one. Yes is the answer. You could definitely lose weight after you're in recovery. However, I would encourage you strongly, very, very strongly, to do it with a dietitian and a therapist. Now you're probably thinking, Katie, why are you being so crazy? But the thing is that we have to protect our recovery. We worked our asses off. We're like so intense and we're so strong and we fought all those urges and we don't have to go back, right? We don't want to find ourselves like backsliding, like, ah. So if we are planning to lose weight, I would first consult with your physician to make sure that you even need to, because it could still be our eating disorder. Secondly, when working with a dietitian, they'll make sure that you're doing it healthfully. It won't feel like a diet. You shouldn't be hungry all the time. You shouldn't not eat things that your body's craving. So they'll help you manage that and eat properly so your body's getting nutrients, so your hair doesn't fall out and your skin doesn't get all weird and you're not tired all the time or irritable. And then working with a therapist can help you gauge, like, as I call it, like food and feelings. Okay, so you ate that, so were you okay? Like, your friends went and got donuts and you got one too. How are we doing with that? Or whatever. As you're working through it, you need to continually talk about it. And I know it sounds like it's overkill and it's like, but I've already done all this recovery work. It's to protect the recovery. So you can definitely lose weight. But I often find my clients who are like, well, can I lose weight after I'm in recovery? My answer to them is usually no, because I'm like, you're not even at your ideal body weight from your doctor yet. So let's not talk about that right now. So that's why the first step is to go see your doctor. Make sure that it's medically okay. And then we have to have some support, right? Because it'll have to be a long time before, like many years in recovery, before we can just do it on our own. So I would encourage you to get some support to make sure that you're doing it healthfully for your body. Okay? Now, here is our journal topic, and it's kind of long, so I'm just going to read through it, and then I'm going to help you, get started. So it says, hey, Katie, I wrote this in my journal today, and I really liked it as a journal topic. I thought about setting myself the goal to get off the scale for at least 3 days, then 1 week, and so on. So just progressively moving her goal along. And this is a little quote from The Truth. It's Steve Maraboli, Life, the Truth, and Being Free. I'm assuming it's a book that she read. And it says, get off the scale, ! You are beautiful. Your beauty, just like your capacity for life, happiness, and success, is immeasurable. I really like that. Rewind it back and listen to that again, okay? Day after day, countless people across the globe get on a scale in search of validation of beauty and social acceptance. Get off the scale. I have yet to see a scale that can tell how enchanting your eyes are. I've never seen one of those. If you find one, send it to me in my P.O. box, okay? Let's see. I've yet to see a scale that can show you how wonderful your hair looks when the sun shines in its glorious rays on it. I've yet to see a scale that can thank you for your compassion, your sense of humor, and your contagious smile. Get off the scale, because I have yet to see one that can admire you for your perseverance when challenged in life. It's true, the scale can only give you a numerical reflection of your relationship with gravity. Rewind that back and listen to that again. That's it. It cannot measure beauty, talent, purpose, life force, possibility, strength, or love. Don't give the scale more power than it has earned. Take note of the number, then get off the scale and live your life. You are beautiful. Now, I thought that this can not only apply to those of us who are struggling with our weight, whether it be, God, I got to lose that last 10 pounds and the depression that sets in when that's really a struggle, to people who struggle with eating disorders and it's really severe and we may binge eat all day long every day or in the evenings or whatever. We may not eat, we may binge and purge, whatever it is. I want you to rewind. I want you to listen to this again. It might be something you might even put up around the house or portions of it on Post-it notes at your office. But also for those of us who let the negative voices run our life, we're struggling with depression and anxiety, and you let all of that, some words that people said years ago or something that happened years ago, rule your life and run in your head. And people don't deserve that power. So if you're running these old records, you have the ability to stop it. And I would encourage you to not give it more power than it's worth. Just like the scale. Don't give it more than it's earned. They haven't done anything. You can stop it. So I would encourage all of us to get off the scale, get off the negative train. We don't have to keep chugging through it. And I think we'll feel better for it. What do you think? Let me know. I'll see y'all tomorrow on the website and YouTube. So ask your questions below this video using the hashtag KatieFAQ, and on my website under Katie's videos FAQ, I think it's hashtag FAQ requests. Okay? See you then. Bye.